What's up, everybody? What's up, MGTOW? So today I just wanted to talk real quick about the feminist whisper networks. Kind of has to do with the current goings on in the media with a lot of men getting false accusations, but just in general too, we can look at some of the hypothetical effects of having these type of whisper networks to operate within the country and who they may or may not affect. Now, if you're unaware of the whisper networks in general, basically the whisper networks are something that's been around for quite a while on the internet, and it's basically where women get together and share information about what they're claiming to be predators or sexual predators, but it more seems as if it's just a list of guys that they don't like and that they're going to use certain types of agents to get at these people. Since whatever is going on in these whisper networks isn't really made public, I just like to look at some hypothetical situations of how the whisper networks might work and who they might affect the most. Like, for instance, one example could be, how would 60 women all corroborate the same story? Let's say, for instance, all 60 of these women were lying, but they had to all testify in court. It could be possible that they could use these whisper networks that connect them all through the internet, and basically their private servers or private groups like Facebook groups and other websites and stuff. These women could all get on the same page about a certain story or about a certain person through these internet whisper networks. I mean, it's not implausible that a bunch of women that seem to have no relation to each other could share information on the internet through these types of networks. And another situation that could possibly come up is in the case of doxing. And I think this applies not only to MGTOW, but anyone that's in the political sphere that has unpopular political opinions, that has possibly doxed themselves or maybe partially doxed themselves by showing themselves on video. These networks could be used to find women or other types of agents in your local area. Like, let's say, for instance, you show your face on camera and some feminist in New York decides that they don't like what you're saying. They could take screenshots of you and then share these photos of you on the whisper network, trying to find women in your local area or people in your local area that might know who you are. And then those people, those agents, could be either used to just get your personal information or even do something even more devious. Because you have to think, these people are crazy. If they're using whisper networks in the first place, they got to be pretty crazy and willing to do some pretty crazy stuff. So, they might even send out agents to try to trap you. Like, for instance, they might send a woman to try to date you or something like that, and then she might turn around and file a sexual assault charge on you. And then, since you've doxed yourself on the internet and they decide they don't like what you're saying, then they can use the whisper network in that manner. And I guess in a similar vein, the whisper networks could be used against, high-powered corporate guys or guys that are in business and stuff like that. Because in a similar way, let's say, you're the boss of some company and all the women get together and decide that you've been promoting too many men and you're not promoting women, even though the men have earned their promotions. They might get together and have a little whisper network and try to collect information and data on you and share it on these whisper networks, and then try to use that information in the future to either blackmail you for promotions or just plain out get you fired from your job. And it seems like it's definitely a leftist, collectivist type of tactic, because it seems as if Antifa is using similar tactics because they've doxed people that were at the Unite the Right rallies and stuff like that. And you have to wonder how they're able to gather so much information about people who all they have basically is a picture of their face or something like that. And the only way I can see that is either if they're actually working with the government in some manner, or they're using these type of networks where they're collecting data and sharing data from multiple people in multiple regions, where they could actually find someone that might know you or know somebody that knows you, and then that could get you doxxed or lose your job or something worse than that. Now, as for the legality of this, it doesn't seem like it's legal, because most websites and the internet in general, it's illegal to share people's private information if they are trying to keep their information private. So I don't really see how these type of networks can be legal. And again, it brings up questions of who is the government really surveilling if these people can get away with doing all this type of illegal stuff, basically doxing people or worse, and using agents to track people down or possibly entrap them into certain situations. How come the government is not monitoring these sites and these networks? How come these women are free to use whisper networks and collect and share personal information about people that they are pretty obviously maliciously trying to do things to? And should the government be tracking these people down and shutting down these whisper networks? Because I mean, people are getting kicked off the internet for way less than that, and they're using the internet for very malicious reasons in this context. So yeah, that's all I really wanted to present, is just having people maybe take a look at the whisper networks, because it's not something that people talk about much in MGTOW, but it's something that I think about because, you know, the few people that do show their face, and I just hope that they are safe. And also, it definitely leaves me wondering how people get doxxed. Like, certain people have gotten doxxed, and it doesn't seem like it would be very easy to dox them because they're not sharing very much personal information and they're not public figures. So it leads me to believe that these whisper networks are active and being used in some sense. So, yeah, I'm going to get out of here with that. Have a good day and go MGTOW.